Welcome to the darkness, where in the middle you find the light, because from darkness come light. All of the work that you're doing here in the human experience. Welcome to the new channel, ladies and gentlemen. If some of you recognize my voice, let's make that a new word. If you recognize my voice, it is not too unfamiliar to the space of content creation. I created a new channel because in this channel, I wanted to stand on a lot of the things I talk about, not in necessarily saying that I believe them completely deeply to the point like where, I'd never let my thoughts shift and change, because that's what a chaos being is. You're always changing, always adapting, always just being in the quantum field, right? And I made this channel because one night I gained inspiration during a meditation. It fueled me, man. And I always think back to when I was first being introduced, bro, where am I coming up with these words? Introduced to, maybe that's my true form, man. I was just like, I'm making up words now. Or my freaking roommate who always fucking can't make, she literally always fucks up words. And we joke on her saying that's because you're from fucking DR, man, from the Dominican Republic. But she always screws her words, and it's hilarious. Anyways, back on topic. I wanted to make this channel because I gained inspiration to make it, and I wanted it to be completely me and step away from what I've done in the past. But it's gonna be the raw me. Hence why we're starting with darkness first, come to light, and then the second video you're gonna see, it depends the order I do them, so I don't even want to say that they're in an order of how you have to watch them. Don't worry, I'm gonna start the other video off like this too, but I just truly want to let go and not be so serious about the magnetism that I cause on this channel. I want to allow myself to utilize these laws of the universe in such a way with this channel that it's like I'm completely having fun with this now. Because one of the first videos on, first of all, any of my channels that I've made in the past and anything that I really say, is I realize I come back to the same point over and over, that this whole stage, the world stage, is just one gigantic play. And it was funny when I ended up finding out that Shakespeare said the world was a stage, because it's like, bro, am I the modern day Shakespeare? Shit, they say the guy was black. So I just was like amazed, bewildered, if you will, that a guy so long, like I just really realized that there's nothing new under the sun. We are all these energies, man. And I noticed this, and I wanted to make this channel to almost, and I've said that a lot now by this point, to really stand on the shit I've done in the past and give you guys the experiences from my life in such an unapologetic way that, I don't allow myself to become dominated by what others think they feel and think that I should feel and think that I should believe to be about reality. Because the truth is, reality is what you make it, because you are the architect. And this channel is almost going to be birthed, and especially the darkness portion of these two videos that I'm about to release, so the one you are currently watching, is just me focusing on how in this uphill battle with my shadow self and your own personal shadow self, I realize when we truly tap into that side and master the shadow, we can create even more in life. I've actually been on the teeter-totter with this within my life forever. I've been actually creating so much in my life right now it's actually insane. It's like every goddamn step I realize is something that came out of my mind. And it's just funny because, I met someone and I knew how this was a manifestation of a challenge for me. This particular woman was supposed to be an obstacle, where I met her in I took up a side job just for fun, just to get, kind of local with the area, because I moved to a new state. Again, she happened to be one of those people who says they're spiritual, blah, blah, blah. And I knew I was moving to a very spiritual, weird kind of place. And I say weird because, it's the tagline of the place. But I knew when I came here, I just was going to be thrusted into whatever this could be. And I already had these conversations many, many times when I first awakened, where I realized that a lot of people on this shit are playing it. It's fugazi. They're not really stepping into it. They're like a human trying to live a spiritual life and not a spiritual divine being trying to just go through the human experience, and not even trying, allowing their divinity to truly take a step, right? I don't hold myself back from questions, back from perspectives, and back from different levels of thought. You should be greedy with that information and apply it to your life. Try to see what works and make your own formulas and adjustments to your divine power, because every single one of these gods are examples of your own power. And this is one of those mistakes I made with this. I don't want to say it's a mistake because everything happens for a reason, and I created it. I knew because I got deja vu when I met her. But it's one of the mistakes I made with her particularly, where I get so hype about, meeting certain people, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I always want to share my experiences and the things I've created. Like, man, I literally sat up night after night writing $10,000 down in my book for 2 weeks. I wrote $10,000. This was just one of the many things I've done. I got double that, just like they say. Your manifestation, when you let it go and truly capture the feeling of having it, that you'll double it, or that it will double. You'll end up getting more than you expect sometimes, or sometimes you don't. You get little things that are going to lead you to the whole, but who knows? That's the fun of it. I love a quote from Spriggan, one of the songs, Seeking the Truth, that is, the future is uncertain, but it's governed by the choices that we make now, because now everything exists in the now. But anyways, so, I'm doing all these things, and I'm doing even more when I'm out here in the place that I wanted to go to. I also manifested coming to the place that I wanted to go. I fell asleep every night with seeing a city drive-through. Those drive-through videos where people are in the car and they record just driving down the streets of cities. I would fall asleep to those videos picturing myself driving into the state that I wanted to be in the city. So, I did this. I'm a practitioner. I don't fake the funk. So this woman actually tried to go on TikTok and make a video about, didn't actually direct it to me. And again, I always said to myself, I'm not going to keep addressing this situation because I don't want to keep fueling energy to it. But this video is about darkness, so I got to talk about this. And she got a bit of my shadow side, and I even prefaced the conversation that hey, like what I say might trigger you. And all I needed to do to get the sign I needed was play one of her voice messages where where she literally said that I need to get in alignment and we need to be better as a spiritual community. First of all, this stuff, and I've always had this, because I've always had this thing about these people saying a spiritual community. That shit is bullshit. None of these people have anything to offer to a community. Shoot, all of them are just throwing away like buzzwords and, all this shit and trying to be a part of a community when they got nothing to give. Like, all these spiritual people really act like they're in the street doing the work, but you only meet a very few that are actually doing the work. I've met people that can sense right off the bat that like, oh, this motherfucker's in it. Like, I don't play. And that's the purpose of this channel. I wanted to show you that I don't play. And if I give you these experiences, that hopefully you can take something away from them and really make things in your life, because I do not play with this. And that's the whole gist of why I wanted to talk about her again in this video, is that the fact that I was still creating despite what she said. I'm in alignment. I wasn't attracting bad, annoying people daily. And first of all, I don't anyways. Most of the people that meet me in my life literally say that I've altered their life. I've changed their life. I've left a long-lasting impression. And I'm only telling you these things because, I want to get it out now because I don't really like talking about myself. I try to, stay humble, but this is the shadow side of the video. So I got to give y'all that. I got to give y'all as much as I can, that part of me that just holds back. I can't hold back now. And I really think about that. And it's like, it's really funny to me how she tried to say that I wasn't in alignment when there's no way a melanated brother cannot be in alignment. You could be You could be off balance, but you're never not walking in divinity. And that's true for any of these motherfuckers here. Even these ones that seem like they're lost in the hood, or people killing, our brothers and sisters killing each other, that whole thing. It doesn't matter. They're still of a divine nature by default. By default. And, and I don't want to bring race into it or anything, but by that statement, I hope you can put the pieces together of what I'm trying to say. And it's just funny when people try to say that you are not in alignment. I was only questioning out of the pure intent of being curious about their spiritual path or how they did certain things. Man, they tried to go on to say that I truly believed I was a god and stuff. Fuck yeah, I'll stand in that. I do, but I know I'm in a human experience, first of all. Just like the great writers Don Miguel Ruiz and stuff talked about in the Four Agreements, where we are all gods, but when one man tried to tell others that they were God, they looked at them funny, because you cannot convince anyone else of this path. They have to walk it solo. You will realize what this world is solo. You are the creator. This whole thing is from your mind. Which is why I want to tell y'all, do not get distracted among this path. You have to be strong. You have to trust yourself. And most importantly, you have to believe and change your mindset. The all is mind. One of the first three hermetic principles, the 7 laws of the universe, the laws, like the actual laws. The all is mind. The all is mind. The universe is mental. The all is mind, the universe is mental. I remember when I gave myself a challenge to actually follow these laws hand by hand, like a handbook in my pocket. And I was able to do it. And it's crazy. Like, the law of attraction just falls under the law of cause and effect, which is one of the 7 laws. For every cause, there's an effect, and for every effect, there's a cause. And your subconscious is the cause, and your conscious mind is the effect. You put it in your subconscious, like they tell you in manifestation, and then the effect is whatever comes to you through, whatever actions that your cause may lead you to do. But even just changing the simple mindset alone will give you the new ideas. So it's just, and increase your magnetism. But this is so true. Like, you have to get in this Zen state. You have to fight your demons. You have to beat all of these. You have to be the ruler of your mind. Your chaotic human fucking brain is why you cannot understand what it's like to even call yourself a god, or to say that you're your higher self. And this is what these people miss. And I've said this forever, but I also made the mistake of using too many terms, and it could confuse you. But I need to tell you right now, for all this is going to make up for everything I've said in the past. Your higher self, your God self, the universe, uni, one. I've always said this, uni, like university. Universe is one song, verse, universe. It's one song. This is all one song. It's your song, the universe. It's all the same, whether you say your higher self, your God self, whatever. And that's why I would actually always say in my videos, because I always preface myself, because I try to be in the middle, or unbiased, or try to tilt you too hard to one side. And I don't even really try that anyways, because I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just trying to show you what I'm doing in my life. And it works. Man, it motherfucking works. Jesus, I'm really sounding like Brother Panic. But I keep feeling this calling to do these videos, so I can't stop. But I wanted the dark side video to come out like this, the darkness one. Because I need y'all to understand and really stress this to yourself, that this is all mindset. Anything you're feeling, whether it be the loneliness, the solitude. I'm alone in my apartment right now, fucking shooting this. I'm alone. Loneliness is not bad. You have to feel together, because I know there are those of you out there that are going to pick up on the frequency and really understand what I'm saying. But I love that experience with that woman I met, for real, because it gave me a new perspective that it's really true. If all of this is frequency, right? If reality is frequency, vibrations, and energy, all of that, energy, frequency, vibrations, right? When you're at a certain point in your life, say you feel or talk different from your friends. Say you feel and talk different than your parents. Say you feel, you move, you act different than your old friends from high school. say you feel you talk different from your coworkers, right? You are on your own separate frequency, right? When you see celebrities, when you see firefighters, these are all frequencies and archetypes of beings that exist, right? So wouldn't that mean if you are thinking like a god or being your higher self, that would be a frequency where you could only run into those who are truly walking in the frequency of being their higher self, which even that would come with different angles. So I can't even say that to the full degree of who even knows. Maybe it sets you, your frequency just sets you away from others. But that's the point, because the human separation, I was going to say, we wouldn't be separated down here if it wasn't meant to be like this, if this game wasn't meant to be created like this. We are meant to be separate and ride our own frequencies so we can enjoy it together, because we are a collective. If you think that all of this energy down here comes from one source, then that would be really ignorant to think that we weren't supposed to be separated down here. But the truth is, there's something that got infected in our consciousness that makes us have all these doubts, all this anxiety, all this shit from the shadow. You have to upbring it. And that's why I'm going to get even more honest with you in this video. I have had a lot of beautiful women I've experienced in my life, and I'm honored to have the experiences that I apparently see most peers don't get. I was told in school that I had the golden ticket from some of my peers, but I was just being a genuine person, or whoever this character I created in this organic game that I made to get the opportunities. Some of you don't know this about me, and this is why I say that woman who said this about me, that I was trying to be a god, or she didn't even consider or walk in my shoes for a minute of why I have to believe myself as a god. First of all, if you are black here, I will say this, any melanated person, and it doesn't have to just be melanated, but I feel like I owe my respects to talk about this better, because I came from a place where and I'm prefacing this, I hated black people, and I'm gonna explain why. But I'm Native, doesn't matter, all the same, black, I'm Native American. But the reason I hated it, well, you know what? Should I touch that now, or should we come back to it? You know what? We'll touch that now. I didn't like them because I didn't like the ghetto stuff I was seeing. And I actually have a funny clip to put in the video. Should I throw it in now? Damn. Okay, I'll throw it in now.
Sometimes I think you're Caucasian.
Why? No explanation? Yo, the face you're fucking making. What's your explanation for that?
But you're black.
Okay, so why do you think I'm Caucasian? Nice, alright, thank you. Go ahead, continue.
You be lacking the blacking.
What is the black in me? Explain.
You are a fine Caucasian black man. You speak like a fine Caucasian black man.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you be cooking like a fine Caucasian black man.
Okay. Appreciate it.
You have ideals like a strong Caucasian black man.
Are you sure about that?
Caucasian invasion of their mothers and families. They're nuts too.
Well, that's fucked. Alrighty, thank you. Thank you for your patronage. Or should I say matronage? We're in different times now. Okay, so from that clip right there, as you can hear, that's my roommate saying that about me. But I've gotten this my whole life, and that's always what it's been, and that's part of the shadow. I had to overcome that. I had this distaste for blacks that were, like me, because of the things that they've seen, and I realized that they are humans, and that I can't blame them for how they act. For if they came to play these roles, you came to play whatever role you had. So let me be a bit more honest. I'm just being honest on everything right now, because this is the whole darkness come to light. I had to realize that we're all one and the same. And I also had friends. I was the guy who was known by everybody. This was literally said about me too as a kid and as I went through my high school career. But I had more on the hood side of friends. But I was a suburb black kid, so and I was already trying to uphold my image as not another one of those ghetto black kids. And this was such a real reality for me. It's been a real reality for, I feel like, a lot of you who were, if you're black. But the crazy thing is I feel like that's part of this system. They want you to hate your own people. It's part of this game, but it's part of the game that you created for yourself to overcome. So I had to overcome that. I remember this one moment where I was in the mall with my grandma, and we went into a store, and my grandma's white, she's Italian, and the person she married was Native American, but one of the Indians, one of the tribes. But right, when we went into a Wendy's or something while we were shopping in the mall, there was, dudes in there wearing all red, sagging all their clothes. It's literally, when I look back at it, it's funny. It's literally like a game. But they were being rude because they wanted to get their food, and they were being rude to the fast food worker. And I was like, it could be anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be black. But I was so appalled as a kid, because as a young kid, I'm seeing this, and I'm like, these are my people. These people are acting like this, and I'm supposed to claim that these are my people. So it's why I took on a more, I'll say, proper talking, because I also had a Spanish friend when I was a kid, and his mom said that he said to her, I've never met a black person like me, who speaks so proper, or like he said, like speaks like a white person. And she said, he doesn't speak like a white person, he speaks like proper. So shout out to all the moms and families out there that are teaching these kids that. But we had really dark jokes anyways, and I'm a dark joke type of person, and that's where I strayed away from too, also on my other channel, which that's not me. I need to make darker jokes. But so this was another funny thing that I thought I would talk about. But yeah, and my grandma, like, I felt embarrassed, and she could see it on my face. I felt embarrassed because it's like, yo, I'm looking at reflections of me. And so that created an ego where I would avoid that. I would avoid acting like that in any way, shape, or form. And trust me, I had my fair share of moments, but I've gained a lot of respect in my life for the character I created. And I realized I had to let that go, because that created a hate within me for my people. I honestly thought, and I got crazier stories to tell y'all, but that's what this whole channel is going to be about, standing in this shit. I can tell that we're all divine beings, and and I just apologize for the system that has broken some of these young gods and goddesses down, just like it's done to me, because it's a whole psychological operation. Like, it's crazy. Like, I can see it now. And I've seen it forever. I was always aware when I was younger, but as I just get older, I see it more and more, and it's freaking insane. And I'm 23 now, and I just see it more and more and more. So where was I? The golden ticket thing. But yeah, so coming back to that, the woman I got to experience in my life, I'm grateful for. And, I never had a hoe phase. I always tried to find the one, be in a relationship, which that played into part of my ego too, where I was like this hopeless romantic young dude. But, I always stayed on my shit with academics and stuff. High honor roll, easy. School was like a game to me to test my abilities. Got a crazy manifestation story about that too, where I literally left everything blank on one of these tests, and I still passed. And just really testing the limits of what you can do in this system. But, because I put sarcastic answers because I'm really a sarcastic person. That's part of the ego. But, anyways, what I'm saying is about, you have to tap into the shadow side of yourself to really realize your power, because now I'm at this point where I hold nothing against anyone. And I'm telling you, I have been a demon, bro, on the terms of what it looks like to be a demon, because it's like, someone said this before, when you mix intelligence, smarts, whatever you want to say, or the fucking intelligence wheel, whatever fucking corner or piece of that I come from, whether it be cunning, I'm cunning, creative, and whatever. When you mix that with, being charismatic and blah, 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 you get a very dangerous person. And a lot of people said this about me. I have an award that I think I showed on my old channel. At least I hope I did. And if I didn't, I still got the award. I keep all my awards with me, where literally the principal wrote about me that I had a devilish smile, or like the devil, like, it's funny, where it was like a charming smile. And I got like and it was funny because, like, being called the silver tongue and all that, that's been my life. So it was just really funny for me. And yeah, and I think about all these moments and think about how this whole thing has to be divine. Like, the more I look at everything that we go through in our lives and just how we come to this power and we come to the light, it's just, like, First of all, like I guess I should just end this video soon because I don't want it to run on too long. But it's just like, understand, I've been where you've been, and that's when we're gonna get into the light video. So, you know, watch that one after this. But I've been where you've been. I've been in maybe I've been in different experiences, yet I'm still one and the same. We are all divine here. And we need to get out of this, and we need to wake the fuck up from this sleep, this judgment. And I have nothing against the young goddess that I met that, you know, within her own right, you know, still that's the thing, got to get over your trauma. Because I got shit that man, I got so much that I want to tell, and I'm going to tell it way better on this channel. But yeah, shout out to her, truly, because I held nothing against her. I really evaluated myself and everything. Tried to call me a narcissist and everything. And the funny thing about that is a narcissist cares about draining people and doing that type of shit to people. And bro, anyone who's met me in my goddamn life knows I don't give a fuck about that, bro. I disappeared to my gaming world. I'm a gamer, bro. I stepped the fuck back. I could care less about being a narcissist. You think I'm a fucking narcissist? I wouldn't care if like the entire world left me alone. Sometimes it feels like I literally put myself in stuff to remind myself how I would love to be in solitude. So it was just funny when she said that. Anyways, I have countless of good people in my life. One bad apple isn't going to ruin this bunch because I'm going to identify it and throw it the fuck out. And I don't care. But I just need to let y'all know, like, I've been where you've been, and this is the shadow. And that's why I want to be raw and rugged on this video, on it being darkness. Because truthfully, I came from, you know, a lot of trauma that I had to heal from too. You know, like, another thing to just show y'all the shadow and mastering it is when I was younger, the thing that I set up for myself to go through at birth was my mother's boyfriend burned me. But it's like, so I peed in his bed or some shit like that, really, really little. And he came back, smelled it, got pissed, dragged me by my arm to the bathroom, put on boiling, like he turned the shower on to super hot water, turned the sink on to super hot boiling water. And he just dipped me in the fucking in the sink. He ran me under the hot water. So, you know, I had to go to the doctors and take ointment and be healed from that. And, you know, that actually made me really good about being cunning as I started to grow up around adults, because I didn't trust adults. I was like, oh, for me, from a young age, that instilled in me that if somebody could do this to a kid, and he's, you know, then it could be anybody. It could be anybody. Don't trust fucking, the older you get, you're wiser. No, like literally, which that happens for some people, but not everybody. But one of my teachers said that about me. He said, like, I can see why you're so wise, like because of like the experiences that have happened to you when you were so much younger. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I have been from day one trying to figure out what this whole thing is, and that's the point. It's about the stopping trying. We're not supposed to be trying. We're just supposed to be unlocking our mind to the best of our ability, do the best that we can with the tools that were given to us, which is our mind, and fucking create the best goddamn mind. Because after you die, what's left? If the mind is the universe, when you die, your mind has to be strengthened. So you can't get beat by this system down here, and you cannot get attached to this system down here. You guys will overcome it. I believe you. And this has been the Shadow Self. I just wanted to kind of come on here, just throw some things out here for our first little video for the channel, and just throw it out here. I don't even, you know, I feel the flow and I'm in it, and I wanted to put this one out here and just say a big thank you to if you got to the end of the video. And if you got to the end of the video, right, put shadow down below in the comments. I love you guys, and seriously, you can create anything in your motherfucking life, but you have to purge that shadow, and you have to use that shadow as a weapon, because everything in my life I look back and I could laugh at every goddamn thing that I've been through. So it's really funny, and I can see how it's set up, and this whole shit is like a movie, and it just becomes unfolding more like a movie every single day. So anyways, much love to you, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
Is the demiurge your ego? Yes, and where you hear it the most. It's a Greek word. It means like a false god or something like that, or lesser god, one or the other. But you hear that the most in Gnosticism. And they talk about the demiurge and pretty much the creator of this place and all things human and human thought belongs to him. Well, human thought is the ego. This place is an aspect of the ego. Creation is the ego. So when you used to hear brothers like Phil say things like, which he's repeating from a doctrine, I am that I am, or you even heard that in the Bible. Who are you? I am that I am. That's another way of saying whatever you could possibly think of, I am. I don't have to express it. So when you say, I'm a bee, I'm a flower, I'm a gnat, rat, cat, and a dog, and all of these things in creation that you see, that's the one I am that I am trying to prove itself. So creation itself is an ego trip. This is an ego. That's the game here. You're coming into the ego to understand how to get back to the true nature of I am that I am. That is all internal. Or you heard this before, becoming the one. To become the one is to understand that you are all the gods, which is what I said earlier. You are all the gods, the one. You understand what I'm saying? And I explained that of all the gods that are on the boat with you in the pyramid text of how they have different roles in your DNA because you are all these gods. These gods are aspects of your DNA. You understand? So now, to become the one, you have to be truly be out of creation, because creation, you are a bee, you are a cat, you are reptilian, you are all of these things. But what you have to but you're having the experience where you think they are outside of you. That's why you're easily duped, as I pointed out with things like community, because that really, when you wash it all away, you're saying, I depend on something outside of me to become fixed, the community to become fixed so I can become fixed. So as soon as black people figured out how to have an economy, I'll be okay. As soon as black people figure out how to have an education, I'll be okay. As soon as we create a school for black boys, I'll be okay. No, those black boys will be okay, and that's a great idea. Like I said, this is no debate or me shitting on it. Everybody does exactly what they do. But you have a mentality that when things happen outside of you in the community, just like when you were in church and you learned it in the first place, when Jesus comes back, oh, watch it, nigga. There's going to be some shit. Something outside of you. Or, oh, Oshun, thank you for allowing me to braid your hair and wash your feet. I'm going to the beach because Oshun told me. Oh, Oshun is mad at me because I didn't put out 21 glasses of water. All of those things are demiurge thoughts. Those are things that keep you locked in humanity, and they're talking about this lesser God or a lesser aspect of your consciousness that created this place. But again, there's many debates and contradictions, just like we have now, they had then. Some look at it as a school, some look at it as a prison. What I'm finding out more through understanding, it's actually not a prison, but it can be a prison if you're ignorant. You go through a lifetime of this misery, and it just becomes about this misery, not the goal in consciousness, which is overcoming the misery. You understand? You're here to overcome it, and how you overcome it is in the heart. Therefore, I'm now understanding how it's supposed to manifest in society for me in terms of courtesy, being able to give and receive it to a nobody. Because it's not about them or humanity and how it's dying. It's about you and what your heart is transforming into. The kingdom of heaven is right here. Right here. And if you live by this instead of this, your gray matter brain and your thinking and your thought and your reasoning is the demiurge. This is the demiurge, nigga. What you think is deep hotepper. How you walking around, how you see all these niggas dropping as soon as I talk. Yeah, fucking, he's the black son and black Jesus. all from here. When it should be, this should be open so this could start to open up. This is the kingdom of heaven. This is the demiurge. So the deeper meaning, I think, of what the Gnostics were talking about ultimately wasn't a person in the sky. They were talking about an aspect of your consciousness that has fallen. But it's supposed to, because to find the kingdom is the goal. That was represented in the movie Coming to America. You were already in the kingdom, but you go to Queens because you want the problem. You brung with you semi-consciousness. Let's just go home. I want a manicure. That's what you say all the time. Fuck that, I want to go home. Fuck that, how do you die and not come back? I want to see what it means. That's your semi-consciousness. Eddie Murphy knew I had to find the love first. You understand? I have to find the love first before we could go home, Semi. Semi took the money and built a kingdom in that rat-infested home. Come on, niggas. I just told you this is not your home and you can't build a kingdom there. So Eddie Murphy came in, took his money, said you can't get into trouble, and I want to move downstairs and let this landlord who's full of shit, he can have this fucking place. We must live poor. I told him my home is very poor. I am what? A goat herder. That's Jesus. He came to save her. He was the Christ. But even if the Christ comes here, which is you, every conscious person is the Christos or the Christ. That's you. So you come, you're here to find your heart.